Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian in the strong style, Cinephile, and Superman and Lois. If the mission was to come back from the hiatus with a bang, well, they succeeded in that because lots of things happen in this episode. Secrets were revealed, maybe intentions were revealed. So let's geek about it for a scan few minutes now. Show opened with a flashback of the cult leader, Allie, getting a pendant. Same pendant that Bizarro had as a child. It was willed to her by her father. Her father was looking into something. We don't know what it was, but she's clearly on board with it and turns her into who she is today. This cult leader who talks about, who leads this inverse society, this backwards, if you will, because that's kind of what Bizarro is. And we finally learned the connection there. There's this other world, and it actually exists. Lois finds out that this woman's actually correct. There's another world, there's another version of individuals on this earth. What she wants to do with them by giving them that knowledge remains to be seen. But we see that Lois is kind of doubting herself. She has an issue with her assistant who doesn't like the fact that Lois lied to her about some things, held some secrets, yada yada yada. She decides to go interview Allie, gets drugged, gets the pendant put on her, which enables her to cross over to the other world, and she believes her. And I first thought that once that happened, that maybe she was going to side with Allie, but apparently she sees that in that other world, Allie has taken over. She runs things and feels like she must be stopped. Now, does she actually truly believe that, or is this just a ruse? Remains to be seen if there's going to be some last minute like heel turn from this woman to kind of pivot on Allie's side against Lois. Remains to be seen. The Cushings, man, they got blown up because we knew Kyle was hiding some infidelity. Apparently, the woman that he was seeing told her sister about the affair. Her sister sold the story to the mayor guy, and it got out. We see him confronting her at the quinceanera. Sarah sees it, and then just the whole thing blows up from there. Lana finds out, and they basically like tell Kyle to kick rocks, kick him out of the quinceanera, and try to have a nice time, try to have a emotional, uplifting time for Sarah to kind of show that she's still loved, people care about her, that sort of thing. Because we know that Sarah had some issues with depression and things in the past. She attempted suicide at one point, so her mother's Lana is trying to make sure that she doesn't spiral off the rails back into that state of mind, and maybe would pull something drastic. I don't think she will with Lana by her side, with Jordan by her side. It'll just be kind of getting through this thing with Kyle. I'm sure he'll try to get back with her. She won't be hearing it. He's going to go back into the bottle, so he's going to fall off the wagon, and that's going to be a whole thing with him. Now, whether they circle back to each other in the long run after Lana's won mayor, because I'm sure she's going to use this sort of thing, this event, this issue with Kyle to kind of catapult herself to winning the getting elected mayor. I think she's going to be able to use it as like, hey, this happened to me. I can overcome it. I can lead you. I can lead Smallville. I can lead you guys to overcome the stuff that we've had happen to us by people that we thought we could trust. So I think that's gonna her story, her issues with Kyle is gonna kind of parallel the kind of message she's gonna send out to Smallville as she gets elected. Because I fully well think that that's what's gonna happen. And then she, as I said before, she's going to have to struggle against the political machine just swallowing her up and turning her into somebody that she doesn't recognize when she looks in the mirror. I think that's going to be the long term thing with that. You have the brothers. Sam, of course, is training Jordan. Jonathan tags along. They get into some sparring. Just, I guess people on the surface, John says he's fine, but just people throwing around words like special and stuff like that about Jordan, he's starting to feel it. It's starting to crack his armor a little bit. He turns to his drugs when they're doing some sparring, and it leads Jordan to think that's something he's hiding something else. So he finally confronts him about it, and some heat vision briefly pops up, or maybe the potential for it. And Jordan's like, oh, hey, you got powers. That's cool. Let's go tell mom and dad. John's like, no, let's not. Let's keep it on the DL because we know that his powers are coming from his drugs. Remains to be seen how that plays out because Jordan says he's going to keep a secret, but we know that's going to. Secrets don't last on the show. Secrets come out. Secrets have consequences, so we'll see what the consequence is for Jonathan finally being outed. As I've said, I think he's going to get kicked off the football team or pulled out, whichever. And he's going to have to, because he's identified so long with football, he's going to have to find some other thing to just what makes him him, what makes him happy, what brings him joy. He's going to have to find something else besides football because football is going to be gone. So that's going to be like a long term story for John. You got Superman's relationship with Anderson, and he tries to get the pendant back from him because he thinks he can use it to find Bizarro. Anderson doesn't want to give it up. Anderson is still just doggedly against Clark and trying to kneecap him in every way. Remains to be seen how that plays out because, of course, it's going to blow up in his face. There's going to be some greater catastrophe that happens due to his actions or attitude towards Clark. I'm sure that's what's going to happen eventually. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. Then you have Clark talking to Bizarro back at the fortress after he subdues him with yellow kryptonite. And he tells him that Allie has taken over his world. He's there to kill Allie because she's taken over his world. She's going to do the same there. So it's just what exact power does she wield is the question. What is the connection between Bizarro and her? How did the pendant, like, what's the origin of the pendant? How did that come into it? Is it from space? Is it something man-made? Magic? Remains to be seen. There's so many questions, but so many interesting ways that this could go. I'd seen one. I didn't click on the article, but I saw a headline where somebody was saying, I mean, it might have been Screen Rant or something like that, posting a theory that maybe Allie was Granny Goodness. I don't think so, but it'd be interesting if that's the route that they went. But there's so many interesting things up in the air with where they could go with Allie and the threat she poses. Remains to be seen what that, like I said, just remains to be seen what that threat is because we don't know. We know from Chrissy that what she saw when she had the pendant on was another world that Allie controlled, and Allie controlled everything. So can she use those forces to bring them from that other world to this one? Is that what she's trying to do? She's trying to swap places, maybe. It's so many things. We don't know where it's going to go, but I'm here for it. It's another good episode, emotional gut punch for Kyle and the Cushings, and seeing Jonathan, kind of what he's feeling, his feelings of inadequacy towards in the wake of Jordan, and it's just interesting stuff going on. Like I said, this show continually gives us these issues with these characters that feel natural, feel authentic, and also gives these issues that Superman just cannot simply punch like he did with Bizarro. I mean, he did punch his way out of that one, but overall, he's not going to come down on like some 90-pound old woman. Like he can't. So how's he going to get to the bottom of what she's doing and then stop her? Remains to be seen, but I'm here for it. So we'll just see how it plays out. But those are some of my thoughts on it, scattered as they often are. What you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me, social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time, let us geek.